We want to work with those of you who are working with our students who have had trying and, in many cases, traumatic lives. It is borne out in study after study the most effective way to reach our students and give them the safe place from which learning can emerge is to meet them where they are.
Today is a Trauma Summit, the third that we at the Department of Education have put on for educators and those working with children who have suffered abuse, neglect, and heartbreaking tragedy. This is key so that we are able to connect with our kids for learning, but it starts with understanding where they are and building an informed background knowledge to be able to make that connection ever more authentic and understanding between teacher and student. So today we are here at the Cox Convention Center Arena, and we have been so privileged to bring in internationally renowned expert Dr. Bruce Perry to speak heart to heart with our teachers and talk about the science behind trauma and how it impacts learning and the practical nature of what teachers can do in classrooms, recognizing that the world outside the classroom impacts the world inside the classroom. Oklahoma has more childhood adverse experiences for the students in Oklahoma than nearly any other state. More than really you can understand. When divorce is part of that, having a parent who is incarcerated, many of the conditions that come from untreated addiction and mental health needs, and these are all part of what lead to trauma in the lives of children.
This is an opportunity for me to share some of the work of our network with educators and colleagues in Oklahoma. And we've been working with children, youth, and adults who've been impacted by trauma for many, many years. And one of the major learnings over the years is that you might have really, really good therapeutic services, but the children are in the schools. And one of the things that we haven't been good at is helping educators understand what has happened to some of these kids. And so the great opportunity is to provide a little bit of capacity building for educators about the impact of trauma on the developing brain, what the implications of that are for the educational setting, and suggest some strategies that can help educators create an environment that will make it easier for kids that are dysregulated to learn. And the good thing about that is that these principles really are applicable across the board. They're useful for children who haven't been impacted by trauma as well. So by using kind of a neuroscience lens, helping educators understand more about how the brain works, it will help the teachers become more effective in all of their work, whether it's with kids that are struggling with trauma or not. You want to be a better partner, you want to be a better supervisor, you want to be a better educator, you want to be a better athlete. If you understand how the brain works, you're going to be more successful. So I think it really is a very useful vehicle to teach these concepts. We have several programs in other states and other countries where a core component is actually engaging the parents and helping them understand these same concepts so that the child is understood in the same way at home, in school, and in the clinic. And so that instead of having this kind of fragmented, different perspective, you have a unified approach, and it really makes a big difference.